Good morning, adventurers. My name is Ben, and welcome to a morning show where I sit around, drink some tea, and talk about TTRPGs. Now, first and foremost, you guys might notice something different about me. I'll give you a guess. Just anyone guess. Obviously, got my hair cut. First off, it has been about 2 years, so it makes sense. But also, I'm getting married in a few weeks, so I needed to get ready for it. So that's what we're going with for now. That's what we're dealing with. So it's all good. Don't freak out too much. It's fine. Now, getting into what we were actually here for, or the first part of what we're here for, I guess. For TRPG today, I've got my Dead People tea mug with the Caduceus clay on it. One of my favorite mugs that I've had for a very long time now. And inside of it, we have the Iron Goddess of Mercy Oolong tea from the Spice and Tea Exchange. This one is real good. Oolong tea, definitely one that you need to know that you are a fan of before you just sort of dive into getting a lot of it. But I do like it. I, weirdly enough, kind of like when teas taste like dirt sometimes. And this is one of those. So I'm a big fan of this. And actually, it doesn't taste like dirt. That was a bad way to explain it. But it is pretty good. Try it if you are interested at all. You can get a normal oolong tea from like the grocery store or something. It won't be quite as good, but it is going to tell you pretty easily if you are going to like oolong tea at all or not. But that also is not quite why we're here today. Instead, what we are here today to talk about is a game that I am super excited about, a game that I literally just got in the mail. I am so thrilled. We are talking about Ink this week. Ink is a game that I found on BackerKit, just sort of like randomly, and I literally got my copy of this on Saturday. Like I literally just got this book. I read through it immediately because it's about 100 pages long, and God, it's so cool. It's such a fun kind of like game as a concept and everything like that. So let's go ahead, let's crack it open. Let's go through day one here. Let's talk about some of our basic introductory kind of questions for this here game. First things first, what is this game? What is Ink? Ink, obviously, tabletop role-playing game. There we go. And unlike where we've been with Downfall, we are going back to dice this time with Ink. Ink is a game about spirits that have died and are trying to move on from life. So what's actually really kind of cool about this game is you can use characters that have died in previous games if you want to. You obviously have to rebuild them for the game engine, but you can use those characters as like your personality basis for your Ink character, which is cool. The sort of concept behind the game is that you are spirits who have died who need to try and move on, which means you have to find some sort of peace or resolution in yourself while traveling through the Ink, which is basically the afterlife in this setting. It's a really interesting kind of setting that is all sort of unique to itself. Basically, it is a massive ocean of ink with little keys or islands that crop up throughout it for you to go adventuring on. So, really interesting concept, really cool game. That is what this is. How many players do you need to play the game? You need a GM and 1 to 6 players. Technically, you can play the game solo, I believe. You will just be rolling on a lot of random tables, but it is recommended for a GM and 1 to 6 players. So, 2 to 7 people. It is not one of those things that is terribly heavy on like crunchy prep for everybody, so it is actually a little bit easier to prep, but you do definitely need to prep if you are going to be the one running the game, because it is a game that can either be fully story based, or it can be a combat heavy game if you so choose. What roles do the players fill in the game? Obviously, like I said, there's a GM and there are 1 to 6 players. The players will have a character, GM will be the GM. At this point in the season, I feel like we've talked enough about what those two different things mean that we don't really need to rehash them too terribly hard. Where can you find the rules for how to play this game? I got this book, like I mentioned, off of BackerKit. Snowbright Studio is the publisher of this book, which means that they are the ones that are going to be selling this book. You can get this book on their website, which is linked in the description of this episode. And that is the only place that I've been able to find it, simply because it literally just came out. The copyright on it is 2023, and we are only 4 months into 2023. So there's not a whole lot of widespread distribution yet, but you can get it directly off of their website. There is not a quick start for this game that I've been able to find. Again, would be on their Kickstarter page if there was one, but I have not found one on there. So you just need to go ahead and get the book if you are looking to actually get going on this game. And then finally, how well does your 5e knowledge transfer to this game? This is one that it actually does transfer relatively well to. The dice system is different, the skill system, stuff like that is different, but if you have a basic understanding of the structure of 5e, the way that like sort of the ladder of the game in 5th edition works, you will be in a really great place to be able to play this game. You will be able to like approach situations and interact with them, and then sort of accurately figure out what it is that you are trying to do in those situations so that you can move forward in the game. Like I said, this game is about discovery and resolution to one's own conflicts. So this is one of those games where your 5th edition knowledge really probably will apply pretty well. GMs, there is a similar sort of conceptual, at least, encounter system in here. You're going to need to look at it and figure it out a little bit, but it is not terribly complicated. If you can balance a 5th edition encounter, you will be just fine, even if it is off of vibes alone. But it's a really cool game, and if you are a player, you are going to be able to take your 5th edition knowledge of how to basically interact with the world around you and apply it straight to the game, more than likely. So, better than you would think, but it is also not a D20 system. So, there's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B here. That's just the way that goes. But that brings me to the end of our introductory list of questions, which means that we are done for today. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. But, like I said, that's everything I have for you guys today. Check Ink out. Again, link in the description of this episode. But, like I said, that is everything I have for you guys today. So, thank you so very much for making part of your morning routine. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much, in particular, to my subscribers. You guys are the ones that make this show possible. If you're interested in supporting the show directly, the best way to do that is by subscribing either on YouTube or on your favorite podcasting platform. We have just recently crossed 400 subscribers on YouTube, which is fantastic. It's incredible. I didn't know that that would be where we ended up when I started this whole thing. So thank you guys so very much for your continued support. It truly means so much to me. But like I said, that's everything I have for you guys. So don't forget, drink tea, play TTRPGs, and keep on rolling.